After wrapping things up at Jackson State and finishing the Celebration Bowl, Coach Prime jumped on a private jet to get to Colorado this past weekend. And when he got there, he was greeted by over 20 visitors. Yes, recruits from the 23 class, 24 class, as well as transfers were there ready to learn about Colorado football. Let's talk about 4 players on the transfer portal that actually committed to Colorado after that weekend visit. Let's talk about it here on early signing day in about 10 seconds. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Jay here with Unfair Sports, where we take a pensive approach to the sports conversation. Thanks for checking us out here on YouTube. On this video, we're going to talk about the 4 transfers that have committed to Colorado after the crazy, huge recruiting weekend that they just recently had. Now, I was hoping to put this out earlier in the week, but, life happens. But today is early signing day, so you're going to be flooded with all kinds of news and information. I only want to focus on these transfers because this is huge. A whole bunch of players decided that they want to pull up to Colorado, get a good understanding of what Coach Prime and his staff is doing, and that reception is huge. Initially, the reports were saying there was about 17 players that were expected to be there for the recruiting weekend, and then I'm looking at my list. I've got over 25, and that includes 4-star prospects from the 23 class as well as some from the 24 class. And then you had the transfers that came over to see the opportunity to play. And so I'm going to talk about the 4 that decided to go ahead and commit. Now, the list of those players, like I said, it's over 25, and it'll take a while for me to go through all of it. So instead of doing that, let's talk about the transfers that came in. And he got 4 commitments over the last couple of days. That's a big deal for Colorado and Coach Prime because it shows a shift in what's going on with their football program. And the beauty of the transfer portal is you can build a winner for at least a year just out of the portal. The question is how sustainable it is. How quickly can you grow from that? And is it something that can be used every year? My honest opinion is no. But the good thing is Coach Prime and his staff have players in the stables, in the recruiting pipeline to continue to build upon. And so let's dive into some of these players that jumped out to me that they got commitments from. First off, on the December 18th, on Sunday, right after that weekend visit, they got a huge commitment from a veteran defensive end, Taijh Alston. Now, Taijh spent the last 4 years at West Virginia. He 6'4", 255-pound edge. He played in 28 games of action at West Virginia, accumulating 56 tackles, 8 sacks, and forced 4 fumbles. Pretty big. He spent some time in JUCO and transferred in at West Virginia in 2019, and he has 1 year left of eligibility. He's got an opportunity to be something special on that defense, or at least be a veteran presence that can help sharpen the iron for the young players that Coach Prime and staff will be bringing in. Coach Nick Williams is one of the best out there, and he not only got 1, but he got 2 edges to go ahead and transfer to Colorado. The next one he brought in was on the 20th, was Shane Coates. Now, Shane is a all Ivy League All-American, 6'3", 275-pound edge. Look at him. Just look at the guns on him. I mean, that's really all you got to pay attention to. But he's a solid edge that's going to be able to come in here, if not start, be deep in the rotation and get a lot of playing time here. Now, Shane has 2 years left of eligibility, and over his 2 years in 2021 and 22 of playing time, he put up 8.5 sacks, which is pretty big at that level. And like I mentioned, he was an all Ivy League selection for both seasons. So Nick Williams is out there doing the dang thing for Coach Prime and staff. Bringing him from Texas A&M is going to show to pay dividends, and bringing in 2 quick recruits on the transfer portal with experience can't help out. Next, we have on Monday, they picked up a commitment from LaVonta Bentley from Clemson. Now, this one was a shocker for me, to be 100% honest, and I'll explain why. But Vonte comes over there, 6 foot, 235, and he quietly entered the transfer portal. Like, it wasn't really much hoopla about it. Spent last 4 years at Clemson, and he's a hard-hitting linebacker. Pretty big deal of a player. 73 tackles, 5.5 sacks, 2 pass breakups, as well as 2 forced fumbles in his career there. And the man can play. He can. What makes it a big shock for me is this former 4-star prospect was really close with Coach Todd Bates and Brent Venables. So I honestly thought that there was a chance he would end up at Oklahoma following his former coaches. But Coach Prime and his staff made an impression on him, and guess what? He decided to go do something different, and I applaud him for that. So they picked up another solid one, another solid veteran that can help reshape this defense immediately. And the last big name one I want to point out is Savion Washingon. Now, Savion played at Kent State under Sean Lewis and Bill O'Boyle, the offensive line coach, and he decided to follow his old coach to their new location. He'll have 3 years of eligibility to play, but listen to these measurables. This young man, look at this size, 6'9", 325 pounds. He's a big boy. And being a big boy out there in that line, it's going to help a lot. He did a visit to Oklahoma State in which, some people thought that there was a chance that they would win him over, but he decided to follow his old coach. And I respect that. That's really the big thing about the transfer portal. One guy recruits you in, and guess what? You got the opportunity to follow them if they leave. And so Savion Washingon has joined this staff over there at Colorado. They put pen to paper this morning. They will be there for the spring, and we will see how they shape out come this season. So that's 4 players that Colorado has picked up so far from the transfer portal after this huge recruiting weekend. Savion Washingon, Shane Cokes, LaVonta Bentley, as well as Taijh Alston. You're going to see a lot more names pop up over the next few days. I will definitely drop some videos for you Colorado fans so you know what players are coming in through the transfer portal, and we'll also talk about the recruiting class later in the week. Thank you all for tuning in as usual here on Unfair Sports. If you're new to the channel, hit that like, subscribe, and the bell notification. Since you've made it this far, you may as well stick around for the future videos. And with that, we will chop it up with you, probably in a few hours. Peace.